Ahoy, mateys! Today we're setting sail on one of the classic tales of high adventure, mutiny, and questionable parental supervision. That's right, we're talking about Treasure Island. The book that taught generations that pirates are cool, as long as you can ignore the scurvy and the occasional life-threatening betrayals. Now, before you roll your eyes and say, I'd rather watch Pirates of the Caribbean, hear me out. This book is the OG, the backbone, the master template for every pirate movie, show, and costume party you've ever experienced. Without Treasure Island, you wouldn't even have Disney pirates chugging rum and scamming each other out of cursed gold. Respect your elders, people. Is this book fun? Yes. Is it ridiculous? Also yes. Are there parts where you question how nobody can get arrested or eaten by a shark? Oh yes, for sure. Welcome aboard and bring some rum. Alright, first up, our protagonist, young Jim Hawkins. He was a sweet kid, bright-eyed and apparently okay with ditching his day job to find deadly pirate treasure. Talk about career shifts. If this were modern times, Jim would 100% be that teenager who wants to borrow the car so he can chase some exciting buried city loot geocaches, and somehow we'd be rooting for him the entire time. Now, Jim's great and all, but we're really here for Long John Silver, aka the smoothest operator to ever grace a pirate genre. This guy could probably sell seawater to a mermaid and charm your grandmother out of her life savings at the same time. His whole friendly cook who's definitely not plotting treachery act? Iconic. By the time he reveals his true colors, you're not even mad. You're impressed. And then there's a supporting cast of misfits, like Dr. Livesey, Jim's guide/guardian, and easily the most level-headed guy in the book. He's out there treating medical emergencies and delivering life advice like some kind of pirate therapist. And the guy with the almost impossible name to say, Squire Trelawney, honestly, he's a walking example of why rich dudes shouldn't plan ventures. He bankrolls the whole thing, but also nearly blows their cover because he can't keep his mouth shut. Imagine trusting Jeff Bezos to organize secret treasure hunt. It's a disaster waiting to happen. Lastly, we have Captain Smollett, who showed up purely to be done with everyone's nonsense. He's the only character who reads the room and realizes maybe going on a pirate-infested treasure hunt isn't the best idea. Spoiler alert, he's right. But does anyone listen? Of course not. So the story. Oh boy. What starts as a cute little treasure map discovery quickly snowballs into full-on chaos. Jim stumbles on the map, and before you know it, he's rubbing elbows with literal criminals, and somehow not immediately getting robbed or eaten alive. The real fun begins when they assemble a crew and set sail. But plot twist, half the crew are mutineers working for Long John Silver, and by working for, I mean they're 100% down to stab anyone between them and a chest full of shiny doubloons. Once they hit Treasure Island, everything descends into chaos. Secret alliances, backstabbing, and random bursts of violence pretty much define the second half of this book. At one point, Jim decides he's brave enough to hijack a whole pirate ship by himself. Because sure, why not? He's like that friend who volunteers to fight a bear for the sake of the group and somehow makes it out alive. Ridiculous? Yes. Legendary? Also yes. Okay folks, buckle in because Treasure Island isn't just a pirate story. It's a snapshot of Victorian era ambitions and anxieties. Back in the 1880s, Britain was riding the high seas of colonization and exploration. So naturally, stories of exotic islands and buried treasure fit the vibe perfectly. The book sold the dream of big adventures where boys become men, even if that adventure might kill you. It's also drenched in Victorian ideals of masculinity. Jim just doesn't go on a treasure hunt. No, he's thrust into situations where he has to grow into a proper man. He learns bravery, leadership, and apparently the fine art of not losing your stuff when you're threatened by pirates. Classic Victorian hero's arc. Yet here's the kicker. Treasure Island also tears apart the traditional hero-villain roles. Take Long John Silver. He's cunning, ruthless, and somehow bizarrely likable. He's a pirate with a code, a soft spot for Jim, and enough charisma to make you wish he was on the right side of history. He exists squarely in the moral gray zone, which was revolutionary for Victorian literature that was obsessed with the idea of good versus evil. Here's where Treasure Island really flexes. Its massive impact on pop culture. Not only did it set the blueprint for pirate adventures in movies, Pirates of the Caribbean, but it also infiltrated video games like Assassin's Creed 4 or Black Flag. If you swashbuckled, looted, or yelled "Avasti scallywag" into a headset, you can thank Stevenson. And don't even get me started on theme parks. The entire Disney franchise solidly stands on Stevenson's shoulders. Throw in phrases like "shiver me timbers" and "yo ho ho," which migrated straight off the pages and into the lexicon. And this book has literally changed how we picture pirates. Nobody romanticized maritime crime quite like this. So do you read Treasure Island? Yes. Absolutely yes. It'll make you want to dig out that old trunk in your attic, just to check to see if Grandpa maybe left a map or two. And yes, before you ask, I definitely tried that as a kid. All I found was a haunted-looking spider and an ancient Sears catalog. But for 5 glorious minutes, I thought I was Jim Hawkins. And hey, before you take off on your own treasure hunt, comment below. What's your favorite pirate cliche? Ever tried burying siblings' toys and drawing them a map? Come on, I can't be the only one who did that. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell your friends, because adventure feels better when you share it. Unless it's treasure, then that's all mine. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.